involved in the other transfer saga of the window, their pursuit of Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak. Now, manager Arne Slot is happy with his squad, but admitted they'd be interested in bringing in a player who would improve them and wanted to join them. I wonder who that could be.
What I can tell you is not a lot. And if someone else is going to ask that question, it's going to be the same answer. Very, very happy about the squad we are having. So I've always said maybe having two per position is ideal, but I prefer less than more. But as always, if we think we can improve in a certain position and there's a player available that can really make us better, which you could see with Giovanni Leoni, it's then this club has always shown that they bring these players in, but only if everything is what we want. So the right transfer fee, the right player, the right position, and a player that wants to come to us.
A player that wants to come to us. Interesting, Mark. He's clearly not going to give too much away publicly. What's your reaction to what you heard from Arne Slot there?
No, I think I really like Arne Slot. I think the way he comes across in the media, the way he speaks, the way he fronts up and answers questions as well, respectfully. And he's prepared to have a little bit of a back and forth and a joke with our reporter Vinny O'Connor and those in the press room. I think shows the mark of the man and the type of person he is. He gets it, he understands what our job is about, and he understands that there are millions of Liverpool fans around the world that are desperate to know what's happening with Alexander Isak and whether or not there'll be a second bid. The first bid, 110 million plus add-ons, rejected by Newcastle. And their stance is quite clear on Alexander Isak. They don't want to sell a player who is crucial to their Premier League campaign and their Champions League season for less than what they feel is the value, and also without having a replacement in the building, signed up and ready to go. I think the key thing that I take from Arne Slot's press conference there when he's asked about signing Alexander Isak is, another attacker. He doesn't say another striker, another attacker. And my understanding is that's where Liverpool are at. Are they comfortable with the squad they have? Yes. Would they like to add another attacker? If the right opportunity presents itself, then yes. But an attacker like Hugo Ekitike, who can play as inside forward, play as a 10, play as a 9, play on the right-hand side, someone that brings versatility, that is the type of player that Liverpool would be in the market for as much as they would be interested in taking Alexander Isak. But Liverpool aren't stupid. They know that Newcastle are not going to sell the player unless they have a replacement. And the problem is, there are very few replacements out there available at the right price that Eddie Howe would be comfortable with signing. You mentioned Eddie Howe there. Another tumultuous week for Newcastle United, although some could say, Jacob Ramsey has arrived, so really good signing. And the signings that they have made, they are actually, if you take them in isolation, it's been quite a good window when you look at it like that, but it has been dominated, of course, by this Alexander Isak saga. We're going to be hearing from Eddie Howe tomorrow, aren't we? Yes, we've actually got two bites at the cherry with Eddie. He's doing his press conference at 9 a.m. in the morning. And of course, we have got a host broadcast interview, which is the interview we get exclusively one-on-one with the manager before a live Sky Sports game. They're live on the Monday Night Football, which I cannot wait for. So we've got two opportunities to speak to Eddie Howe. Now, ultimately, he's going to be asked the same questions that we've been asking for a number of weeks now. What's the latest with Alexander Isak? Have you had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him? Is there any movement with his position? Does he want to be included in the squad? Does he want to return to the fold for training? Is there any chance he may be on the bench on Monday night? Of course, Alexander Isak's position has been made quite clear through his representatives via the media that he doesn't want to play for Newcastle anymore. He wants to explore his options. He wants to potentially join Liverpool, and he has no desire to play for Newcastle United again. However, there is a 3-year contract remaining on his current deal, and the choice isn't really his, it's Newcastle United's, and they'll decide where he goes moving forward. And if you want to ask me the question which I've been asked this week, last week, the week before, I still think he remains a Newcastle United player.
But also, hypothetically, if Newcastle did sign Johan Wissa, that's not enough if they sold Alexander Isak. They've got the Champions League.
Johan Wissa is the replacement for Callum Wilson. He is a striker, someone that would probably play a huge number of games. There is that interest in the player. Obviously when you've got Alexander Isak, the chances of Johan Wissa starting as a guaranteed starter is not going to be high. However, you look at the partnerships that Wissa formed with Brian Mbeumo and various other players at Brentford. He was an exceptionally important player to a front three. And Wissa's quality is he can play in multiple positions. And he brings so much. And that's why Eddie Howe wants to sign him. This is not just a player that, oh yeah, he'll do. No, he's a player they've liked for some time. They've been tracking for some time. They've obviously had a couple of offers rejected by Brentford over the course of this summer. This is a player they have a desire to sell, but he is not the Alexander Isak replacement. He is someone that could go in and be a part of that strike force for Newcastle.
United forward Rasmus Højlund. Remember, we were telling you that AC Milan wanted to do a loan with an option. Rasmus Højlund and Manchester United's preference is a permanent deal, or at least have a permanent element attached to that deal. So that one looks like it was cooling off. But Napoli, we understand, were trying to do a similar deal. But Sky in Italy are now reporting that they are open, on Napoli, to including an obligation to buy in any kind of loan deal for Rasmus Højlund. That's after AC Milan failed to convince Hojlund to join them. Now, Napoli had been proposing a similar deal to Milan's one. Now they've opened up the possibility to including a mandatory buy option. Sky in Italy are reporting that Hojlund is now head coach Antonio Conte's top priority after that injury to Romelu Lukaku, and Napoli are now ready to make a significant investment in the striker. This one is definitely one to watch in the last 10 days of this transfer window, because we do know Manchester United would be open to a sale.
In a stunning twist that has rocked Old Trafford, Manchester United have agreed a blockbuster deal worth an initial £44 million with a Saudi Pro League club for goalkeeper André Onana. The Cameroonian star, who only arrived last season with huge expectations, is now bidding farewell after a rollercoaster spell in England. For United, the deal is more than just a transfer, it's a strategic move. The 40M plus windfall gives Ruben Amorim fresh ammunition to rebuild his squad. But the question on every fan's lips, who replaces Onana between the sticks? Onana's journey at United was nothing short of dramatic, moments of brilliance overshadowed by costly errors, leading to heated debates among fans and pundits alike. Some celebrate this exit as a financial masterstroke. Others fear losing a leader who brought confidence and flair to the backline. As Onana embarks on a new chapter in the Middle East, speculation is already spiraling. Will United target a Premier League proven shot stopper, or gamble on a young, hungry talent from Europe? One thing is certain, this is not the end of the story. It's the start of a transfer saga that could define United's season. Stay tuned, because the next few days might deliver a twist no one saw coming. Would you take De Gea back, or dream of a big name like Oblak or Maignan? Drop your thoughts below.